Let me see. Now finally I can record. Okay, let's begin. Welcome everybody. I am so excited. I am so proud of you. I have gone through the comments, the things that you went through, the process you went through, and I saw such a huge learning that you were picking up. But what you did, I hope you did realize when you were going through the session and you're processing and answering questions, that you are pulling information from yourself. So which indicate that you already know what the right answers are and what's the path to go. You just needed me to guide you on how that path is going to be mapped out. Welcome, entrepreneurs. We are going to do today just providing a feedback on the financial goals and also providing the best way of doing it, and also allowing you to provide a feedback also on what do you see and how you can make this work better even for yourself. I really want you guys to, I'm of a view, once you have done this setting of financial goals, you will never need to change again. Whatever that you were doing in 5-10 years time, it will be exactly the same way on how you will set up the financial goals. But I also just wanted to make sure that Mapote, as we are going through this, those who do not have access of the full material on Fresh LSM, can they type their email address on the chat box right now? So if you have not received the link of all the material on the in terms of the content that is material, even assignments and stuff, if you are still struggling with that based on email, you have not received an email from Fresh LSM, please type in your email address below. Mapote, as we are going through this session, would you please take those email address and load them on Fresh LSM? Entrepreneurs, please accept that link, check it even on your junk box, and then accept it. Then you will have access of all the material, so that even if you are unable to finish some of the things today, at least you have a platform where you can always go back to. We will let the content to be available to you. I think we had agreed that it will be up to 6 months, 12 months. So please just type your email address there. Mapote, confirm that you have done that and you got the emails, and add them on that Fresh LSM so that they have that access of that material. Okay, now we've taken the admin out. Thank you so much for those that have joined. Welcome everybody. As I said, I was really so proud of you. For the first time, this program has been the most difficult thing for me to do, because we were not doing administration, we had outsourced it. So it has been so difficult to find the right rhythm and also get to work with you guys at a closer proximity than I would have. And I'm feeling things basically have not worked as planned, but we're gonna do, we're entrepreneurs, right? We do whatever it takes. We're entrepreneurs. We do things even when the circumstances don't feel right. We just keep on pushing. So, and I am so grateful for you guys for sticking up and pulling through. You have no idea how much this touches me. And when I see the work, the effort you have put in, and knowing how much some of you it had to take, not just time, but the effort, the thinking. Just God bless you. God, whatever that you have put in, you will get it in thousands. And I know that because I have seen your work. I have seen the attention to detail that you have put in. And even for those that have not been able to articulate things according to what I saw the effort of the attempt to try to get it right. And that is why I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go an extra mile and make sure that I do for each session, for each content, I analyze each of your responses and the things that you have submitted and provide you the feedback. Yes, at first I will provide this as a group, but should you need additional support, I'm always here. I do have lots of commitment, but I will make time to make sure that you are getting the support you need and you are able to finally get it. And yeah, this is just so painful, but yeah. Okay. Good spirit, and in all fairness, everything has been absolutely amazing. And I think sometimes as human beings, I think we don't understand what we are going through. We just take it on a face value, whereas every experience that God has given us in our lives, it is an experience that God wanted us to go through for us to grow. We will not grow if we don't go through that experience. So I am taking every experience through this project and other projects to say, it means God is highlighting to me the areas for growth on my part to make sure this is actually done right, because I do not take you guys for granted and the time you put in on this. And thank you so much. Okay, I am gonna start then on this. So I think one of the areas that we as entrepreneurs, we need to prioritize and start is really having the financial goals. But we gotta need to make sure that the financial goals that we have crafted, the targets that we set are smart, right? What do I mean when I say they are smart? They are specific. So I am gonna sell oranges. What type of oranges are they gonna be? Because there's different type of oranges, right? There's different type. If I'm gonna deliver apples, there's different types of apples. So you're gonna be descriptive of what exactly you're gonna deliver. But as you are being specific in what you're gonna deliver in terms of following that SMART principle, you're gonna make sure that it's measurable. The financial goal that you have is measurable. And most of you did pick that up. It was your financial goals were measurable. And it must also be attainable. Attainable means it is within the reach. Now, there is some sort of a pitch, some sort of a disclaimer on this, right? Some sort of a disclaimer on this. Norman, would you please mute yourself? There's a feeder coming through. Thank you. Yeah, there's a feeder that's coming through there. So what do I mean attainable? Attainable means it's something that is within the reach. Majority of you did have the financial goals that were crafted and that were specific, but they were not attainable. Now, I am not, I can't foresee the future. I can't foresee the future of how things are gonna play out. If you say, Precious, I will deliver 1 million of oranges. I will deliver 1 million of oranges. And my question as your coach is, how many oranges are you currently delivering? And you say, hey, Precious, I'm delivering 10 oranges or even 100 oranges right now, and you saying you're going to deliver 1 million oranges, there has to be a link of that goal that you said you want to achieve to your strategy. Your strategy is the one that's going to convince me whether it is feasible for you to deliver the 1 million oranges. Okay. I need you guys to understand that. I am not saying the 1 million is not reachable for you or for me or for anybody who's setting up their goal. But what I am saying, the goal is reachable based on the strategy it is being supported or it is being designed or crafted for. It is attainable based on what is your strategy, based on the business model that you have created. So some of you, I saw the goals, I was happy. Some of you, I saw the goal, I was not happy, but then I checked the strategy. Then on the strategy, things did not make sense. And I'm now asking myself, maybe I need to have a look at this business model, because the business model get to provide how your distribution line is gonna, because your distribution line and your target market will tell me whether that 1 million is attainable. So let me make a typical example of this again. So I said, you said you're gonna deliver 1 million oranges, and currently you're only delivering 100. Your target market that you have is maybe you have in your target market, you have retailers, right, who gonna sell these oranges for you, right? But there could be an instance that is indicating that your target market is not retailers, is B2C customers, i.e. individual customers. Do you now see that as much as I can see that you are saying you're going to deliver 1 million, it seems as though it's more feasible if you are saying you will deliver the 1 million to retailers versus when you are going to deliver these oranges to what? To individual customers. Okay? So the target that you have set must be attainable in terms of SMART principle, but in that attainability, it should be informed by your strategy. And on your strategy, when I read and I do not see how your customer profile, your customers are gonna be reached, how you're gonna fit into a capacity, I then have to say, you know what, let me have a look at your business model. Let me see what you have put on your business model canvas, because the business model canvas is gonna articulate the target market, the clarity. Kensan is clapping the hands. Thank you for that response, because I'm trying to somehow articulate this, and I don't want it. I want us to not take my feedback of saying that your goal is not attained and take that on a face value. I want you to take that in terms of Precious is saying, let me double check my business model. You will reach that 1 million or that 2 million, whatever number of oranges that you want to achieve. But I am saying that 1 million of oranges have to be based on a strategy. That strategy has to be informed by the business model that you have created. Because in that business model, you will have articulated who your target market is. Distributing to retailers, it means you see yourself as a wholesaler. Whereas distributing to customers, it means you see yourself as a retailer yourself. And that's a different approach altogether. And there's a different cost implication and the different distribution lines involved and the volumes that you are pushing. Okay. The last principle within the SMART, it also must be realistic. Realistic in terms of time, in terms of your resources, and in terms of capacity, knowledge and skill, but also in terms of the environment. When you were doing strategy, I specifically provided you, I think in one of those steps, you are supposed to analyze your industry. Look at what the environment, look at your pastel, right? Pastel being politically, economically, is this feasible? What are the things that are existing right now? Are those things that exist limit you or provide opportunities for you, or do they provide threats? Do they provide, what are they providing these factors? And you taking those factors and categorizing them according to those 4 areas, which is your SWOT analysis. So, and the last one, they must be timely, must be within a specific time. Some of you on your financial goals is within 12 months, but when you look at how big the process is, 12 months is not big enough it's not long enough to achieve those goals, right? So I really want us to really dive into that, and then I will show you some examples, and then I want you to provide me with some feedback. I also want you to open your goals that you have set and see the things that I am talking about. Is that okay? Tendo, System Bisa, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It's a lot of sense.
Okay. Now, can you guys look at your goals again? Look at your goals based on what I've just discussed. Have a look at it and tell me, do you need to adjust or not to adjust? What do you need? Because sometimes you don't need to adjust the actual financial goal, but what you need to adjust is the business model. And then for leading you to change what? Your strategy. So I'm asking you, what are you gonna adjust? What are you gonna change? And this applies to everyone. This applies to everyone. It really applies to everyone. And I know by reading some of your content, some of you, it was the first time you were doing this. And that's okay. That's okay. Don't stress about it. Everything has its own time. Our aim is not to get it perfect. Our aim is to have clarity, allow everything to be aligned for us to be able to have a clear direction of where we're going. Because you see, the goal defines you, the goal determines your destiny. Your goal is it's almost like the goal, it molds who you are and what you stand for. System, you are saying it is the first time for me. Yes, it was. I saw it all, and that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Is anyone who has done the task? Guys, remember, this is a working arrangement. You need to read through the stuff based on what I've just shared with you. So please open up your goals. Ask yourself, am I adjusting my financial goal, or am I adjusting my business model canvas, or am I adjusting my strategy? Remember, you will not be able to change your strategy without changing your business model also. You're gonna need to ask yourself, is the business model still making sense? Is anyone who want to share on what I've just articulated? Yes, Norman, please come through, my brother.
Hi, Precious. Thanks for the opportunity, but I also want to thank you for the great work you've done. At the beginning of this course, I was overwhelmed. It was on. And as it goes, when a person becomes more comfortable, because now I think routine has taught us to do certain things in certain ways and certain times. So I had to reorganize everything. When this meeting started, I was still on the road, but I managed to come into the office now. I've just opened up my canvas that I sent to you as well, and I'm looking at it, and I've populated it. The revenue streams, I've put down the percentages, because for me, I supply into retail and direct sales into different smaller businesses and so on. So for me, my retail streams that I've noted were for the merchants is 60%, the agency, which is your liaison, maybe people who do sales on the side for you, 30%, and online, which doesn't exist now. I put only as 10% because I know there would be learning to be done there, etc., etc. Where now I look at some of the things that I've put down on my OPEX and my CAPEX, because for me, this has everything to do with expanding. I need to expand. So for me to expand, I need to get the capital that I need. And I've broken it down into OPEX and CAPEX. And when now you spoke about, when I did this exercise, I was trying to make sure that I've got thinking behind the acquisition of CAPEX, like commercial vehicle, two of them, to try and sweat the asset so that the asset can pay for itself, but also not to destroy the asset while you are working it. Then there's obviously machinery and some of the equipment that would be used in the production, and obviously the inventory, which is your stocks, and the working capital, which under most, in fact, in my case, I put the salaries and I've broken down the employment and so on for that. And I've put down IT solutions as well, IT software and hardware, and I've put down um, a buffer, which the contingency, I put down 10% for OPEX, and for CAPEX, I put another 10%. So my framework that is in this, in the canvas, it allows me a single view of my business as envisaged. So the current business and the model that I'm currently using is confused because it is reliant on the efforts of 1, 2, 3 people. It is not flowing because obviously there would be duplications here, there, and the other places. So for me, in terms of the future prospects, your teachings have landed. I want to say that, and I say it openly, your teachings have landed because you've shown me how to go about this in a systematic manner. And I've taken from the learnings and I've put it into a document which I've shared with you. And I would like for your feedback to come so that I can look and see where I fall short or where I would possibly lack. And then I can beef it up and also change my way of operating. But um, I've taken this opportunity to reflect in terms of how I've done what I've done and for as long as I did. But you've assisted me going back to the main structure, which was to grow continuously. And I think at some point or the other, I became so much of a survivalist business that I stopped growing. I stopped looking out to grow. And I didn't model anything that would have led to that growth. But I mean, I've got Napoleon Hill, that I've got the audio book, I've got other ones, I've got your book, it's an audio. So I've stopped listening to Bokaya FMs and the likes, and I'm listening to audiobooks because now it stimulates me and it assists me to take myself seriously now, because now you know what, you cannot sell something that you don't buy, or you don't sell food that you don't eat. So for me, this opportunity has been a game changer. I'm following you with the training on NEF. I believe for me now, life is about continuous learning, because for me, I'm a domineering character by nature. So I cannot be domineering with a closed lid. I need to open that lid, and that lid need to be thrown away so that I can continuously fill myself with new and better information so that I can produce better. So that really is just, I wanted to share this little bit with you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Norman. So, Norman, what we have thought about is that we will give individual feedback because I have the notes of each content for each individual. But because there's confidentiality, there are people who may not feel comfortable to get a direct feedback, we will then rather do that privately. But for a group session, now we just focusing on what we have picked up on overall and the principles of it, so that everyone is on the same page, right? So we are asking you also that even if you don't have the individual feedback yet, understand this principle so that it allows you an opportunities to review what we are picking up, because the stuff that we're picking up is general, okay, is general. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go then and find an example, and then also maybe allow you guys to ask any question on what I've just shared now in terms of SMART principle on setting up the goal, but how does the goal relate to the business model canvas, and how then does also that relate to the strategy? Can I take questions maybe? I don't see any hand other than Norman's hand, which is an old hand. Guys, just remember you can unmute yourself or you can just type on the chat box. Okay, so Tembisa, please, you are one of the people that needs to have that link. And I think everyone, guys, just have that link. The way participants that, Tembisa has business model canvas and financials will definitely have to change, align with South African legislation. The products and services that I'm busy with are very restricted. Yes, but also if your environment is restrictive, which means it's a regulated environment, you have therefore make sure you put realistic timelines. How long is certain processes gonna take for you to make the money that you need to make? I don't want you guys to set yourself up for failure and depression, because when you're not achieving your goals, you end up feeling bad and actually not feeling well about yourself. And also feeling, you know what, I'm a failure, I'm unable to achieve this. Number two, and Tembisa, thank you so much. You also did use the template, the correct templates, and so on. However, I need you to, I really need for you to focus on saying, for me to build this company in an environment which is a new industry, what do I need? What's the bare minimum do I need in terms of capacity, right? In terms of capacity, okay? In terms of capacity, what do I need? What knowledge do I need? What competencies do I need? Where do I find those competencies and resources? Okay, which countries maybe I need to find companies that I can partner and work with. Don't limit yourself to the South African environment only. Look even outside if you have to. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it will provide you with skills and knowledge, and in areas where people are more advanced than you. You see, when you're in that environment, you will then grow faster. Okay. Now, Selby has asked the question, where do I access our feedback assignment? We have not created individual feedback. They just have been typed. What I've done, I've consolidated everyone's feedback so that I can run this webinar. We will provide you with individual assignment feedback and the mark. But what we have picked up that is generic, is what we're doing today. Norman's hand, it's also up. Go ahead.
Precious, some time ago I spoke with you and I said I went to Mozambique to get interlinked with suppliers from that side. Even in Zimbabwe, I went to Zimbabwe maybe a month ago. I was there. What I've come to see in terms of my growth plan and my long-term strategy is to go into smart process. So my mind has directed me to international best practices, because you want to take produce into the EU, you want to take them into Americas of this world and so on. But you need to, from a base point of view, be so organized that your produce will be accepted in those countries. Now, my challenge then becomes, how do I, as a local small player right now, have this international approach where I can, because what I'm looking for is international bodies to start interacting with a view of being able to link up with people who have modernized production processes, things that will take you into the future. Because currently I've started and I've done first part of HACCP, which is your health and safety. The second one for the premises is going to come probably in the new year. So my intention is to make sure that from every level, the dream that I've got of having a commercially viable business, I want to take it and have international linkages. Do you have any suggestion on how and what should be the best way for me to approach this? Because for me, this is now where I'm looking at a strategic planning. And so before I come to any other form, I would like to include the strategic planning into my vision and the scope for the business for the next 5-year plan that I've developed.
So if I was you, how I will approach, one, I will make sure that I register with the industry associations. And I also make sure I'm registered with DTI. Several of the chambers in the country, they run import and exporting programs, which also allow you to get certification and processes right for you to export. So that is where I will start. Norman, does that assist?
No, it does. It does. It actually does, because as part of my canvas, I've listed the industry bodies that I fall under and into. What I've found myself as restrictive is that these bodies and associations, they normally want annual fees, they want training fees, and I've never really seen the need for that. Because some of it.
But then the DTI itself as an agent, as an institution, they don't need fees. So you can actually go to DTI and ask for the information and whatever that you need support in. They do have even programs within DTI that can help. Depending on your size of your business, as I said, I'm still gonna give individual feedback. I do have a network of even Productivity SA. I've worked with Productivity SA. So Productivity SA, you can, when you have mapped your strategy and say, I want to make sure that my systems and my processes are up top, my efficiency and I'm effective on what I'm doing in using my assets and resources. And they then help you to set that up, to get you ready for those efficiencies, so that if I was you, I will not rush to do exporting it. I will focus on, can I build up a business that is franchisable? If the answer is yes, how do I fulfill import? Because if I was you, Norman, I will import from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Namibia, and other countries import their raw fruits, bring them to South Africa. In South Africa, be a manufacturer. Get the DTI to fund you to manufacture and process and make them to be dry fruits or whatever that you are doing. And then from that, you can then, when you have done that, then go, you got these assets, they fund you. I think there's even a fund that is going around now where they are looking to fund manufacturing. So they are looking into that. So as you're building up that capacity for you to be able to do more, you then bring Productivity SA to help you build up systems and processes. While you are doing that, you are doing the franchising, the distribution line, you're franchising the distribution, and you're also mapping up the branding. Remember, the branding can be a white labeling branding, and it can be also be specific. So what do I mean when I'm saying a white labeling brand? A white labeling brand is when you are providing to Spy and Pick and Pay, but they put their label. They do not put your brand. Or you can also have a white labeling where you are providing to hotels as a snack, and they are branding it as though it's their product. Why? Because of how you have positioned yourself. From that, you can then build up and say, even for overseas, you can do even a white labeling even for overseas, right? So you then say, okay, if then I'm gonna, you just remember, if you're positioning yourself as a manufacturer, you don't need to have a brand name that is known. And that's another thing. Other entrepreneurs, they confuse this. They go in, they want to be known as a brand. At the same time, they want to be a manufacturer. Your role as a manufacturer is not to build brands. Brands will automatically happen on their own, but those brands can happen with or without you. Building up a brand is for retailers. If you position yourself as just as a manufacturer, you then can allow people to brand things themselves. So you can then sell to chains, retailers that are chains. You can sell to health shops. You can sell to different platforms that provide specific diets for different things and so on. But you still are more of a manufacturer and a wholesaler than just a retailer. So do you see that now the volumes changes, the approaches changes, but your focus now is no longer focusing on just sale, but is more focusing on being the best in manufacturing.
Yes, I see that. I see.
Okay. So Tembisa, my suggestion is exactly the same as with Norman. Don't rush to import and export. That is not important now. What is important is setting yourself up. Right now is setting yourself up. One is to find your raw material, do a research of where do I get the best hemp in the world? Okay. To get that hemp in the world, what will I need? Don't get wrapped up on compliance and stuff and things. So Tembisa, your first is, where do I get the raw materials, the best raw materials in the world? What requirements do I need to have in place to make sure I get it? When I get it, at what price am I going to get it? Where am I going to store it? Does it need the certain requirements to store it? When I'm processing it, what is the requirement? Focus on that. Getting B certification and stuff, that is the easiest thing. Even getting an import. But what is important is your processes, because you can have those certifications of import and export crap. Your aim is to export the best, import the best, and that's what you should be focusing on. Selby, please, can you just hold on 1 second? I'm just gonna grab water. I'm just running out of breath. Please just give me a second. Denise, can you repeat the instruction that I gave to everyone to type in their email address if they have not received an email, fresh LSM, so that we can email them the platform where they will find the material. Please just give me a second, guys. Those who have not received a fresh LSM email, please type your email address on the chat box. Mapote, please take each of those emails and add the individuals so that they are able to access material even post this training. Okay, Selby, I'm ready for you. What is your question?
Oh, okay. Afternoon, everyone. So my question is based on the discussion you had, guys, and also another question based on another discussions. So are you saying you cannot focus on becoming a manufacturer and a brand owner at the same time? For example, let's say maybe if I want to produce like processed food.
Hang on, Selby. I'm not saying you can't. You can. You can. I don't know your capacity and your capability, but you're confusing yourself. You're not going to focus on the most important thing if you don't know who you are on the value chain. Let me just share something to you. 1 second, I'm opening up the whiteboard. So Selby, in a value chain, you have something like this. Here you're sitting with a custom. This is a custom. This is what we also call end user. Okay?
Yes.
End user here. Here is the person who came up with the solution, who's generally a manufacturer. The product moves in the value chain in different levels, depending on what type of product and what's the shelf life of the product. So if the product have a shelf life that is shorter, it's generally will have maybe 3 people's hand. These are different people in here, different people or different structures of the market. If you come to the market, whatever market that you are in, and you don't know who you are in this, building this up takes time. And when you don't know who you are, you will not focus on the things that matters the most to make yourself successful. Because choosing to or selecting who you're gonna be in the market also allows you to focus on what matters in that space. You see, a manufacturer focuses on capacity and capability of producing. Whereas if you have chosen to be a retailer, which is might be here, because between a retailer, you might also have a distributor. You might have a wholesaler here. You might have a brokerage here. You might actually also have another line here, which could be another distribute in another level. So each of these individuals, they have their own intricacies of what makes them successful in that industry in that value chain, in that specific area. So when you are entering as a SMME, who has no capacity, who has no working capital, who has no, I mean, small businesses, you generally have bare minimum. When you come in, you have not defined who you are, what you're gonna do. You waste your resources and your time. Your aim is to select who am I gonna be, which is the quickest way to get it into this, in terms of entry into the market. Number two, to survive in the market long enough for me to build the capacity towards me being what I want. So let me make a typical example. If today, God forbid, I lose everything I have, like practically absolutely nothing. I have absolutely nothing. And I need to go, I want to be in property development. I don't even have a cent on my name, right? How will I still go into a property market? I will not go into a property industry as a property developer. Gingena skill, gingena capacity. But there's a potential for me to go in as a sales agent. So ngiregister NQF, I think it's NQF4, ukuthi ngodayisa imizi, for me to get myself as my entry point into that industry. Why? Because it's based on my resources and capacity. But if I have money and I also have a skill, engineer or architect or project manager, of course, I can then decide I can be a developer, or I can be a wholesaler. I sell houses in bulk, you know, because my skill, my knowledge and information allows me to do it. So I cannot, no one can tell yourself what you can, what you cannot do. But what I am trying to articulate, you have limited resources. You want to be successful in what you do. Get in, being clear of where you want to be and choose that until you have established yourself. You have replicated yourself in that business. That business can run without you. Then move to another value chain. And that's what I'm advising.
Okay, yeah, it is clear. So in a case of producing like your food products, let's say maybe you want to focus first, you want to become the manufacturer. So you suggest you leave out the brand owner side and focus on being a manufacturer first. And then you focus on being a brand owner once your manufacturing business has been stable.
No, I gave that advice to Norman because I have been speaking to Norman and I somehow have a clear vision of what he wants and how he can actually replicate that business. But also because I have a background of what is Norman's approach and thinking is. If I need to provide you with that insight, I will need to ask you a few questions first for me to then say what would be the easiest. But I also need you to ask yourself, what is easiest for me? What is possible for me? For me then to say, this is what you need to consider. So the stuff that I'm providing as a guide, especially to Norman, is because I think Norman, we've had about 3 sessions already where we have been talking about this and the approach of doing this, and we keep on refining it each time, right? So, and as a result, then I'm able to have a clear guide for him. So I will need, Selby, for you to talk to me more, and I will ask you a few questions, but I will also look at what you have completed. But I will also need to have spoken to you to figure out how long you have been in that industry, to then help you to select where can you start, what is more possible for you. But what I do not want is for you to start in a place where you already are defeated before you start. You already have lost because you
How
are
so?
starting in the wrong channel.
Oh, okay. No, I'm still on the right track. It's just that I need clarity there and there in terms of becoming a manufacturer and a product owner.
So let's go back into that. So tell me about which industry, what business you are in, Selby. And in the meanwhile, while you're doing that, I'm gonna open up my notes and check your homework. Is that fair enough?
No, it's not, because you're only checking mine.
Because I need Selby, you asked the question, and I've provided you with a guide of why maybe with Norman I'm more specific. But at the same time, I want you to understand that, okay, first of all, I can't find it. I can't see you. Maybe you called yourself something else. Let me check. So, because you are following up on questions, and I don't want to give you advice that is not right. But at the same time, I want you to provide you with some sort of comfort that there are answers available. You just need to build them up within the questions. So maybe I don't see, Dennis, can you double check that? Did you submit your assignment? I don't see your notes. I don't have your notes.
Yeah, I did, using Ahisanam project email.
Oh, okay. Denise, please check Selby's questions, and then we will schedule, guys, individual feedback. I will make it between 30 minutes and 20 minutes to provide individual feedback to you guys. So please don't stress about that. But Selby, maybe give me the background of your sessions in terms of which industry you are in. What do you want to do? Do you have a skill of the industry? How long you have been on the industry? And where do you see opportunities in that industry? Because I can tell you that you need to know that yourself to then decide which is the best opportunity for you.
Okay. And we did have some chat on WhatsApp regarding my business.
I'm
but
sorry, Selby. I don't say the names of you guys when we send it. So sometimes I talk to you for more than a month, but I don't know who the heck I was talking to. So apologies for that.
No problem. So what happens is we've got a consulting business in all aspects of the business. So we want to branch into agriculture. The reason being,
I have your email and your stuff now. Oh, that's
okay.
you. Now
Great.
I remember. Okay. So you want to be in the fast moving goods industry? You want to process healthy foods? But
as I went around and seeking for mentorship and advices, I decided to change from fast-moving consumer goods to fresh produce at first.
okay, so you have changed your product now.
Yeah, an entrepreneur always changes his mind, you know.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be a long one. Okay.
Which one are you looking at? Which one are you looking at? The financial goals?
I'm looking at everything, so I'm looking at your WhatsApp, and you send me a WhatsApp saying I have more than 80 SMSs from Selb. Okay, Selb, let me guide you. Since now I know who you are.
Yes.
The questions, Selby, that you are still asking are still the reason why your product has changed is because you are developing a product without understanding the market. Or should I say, without understanding what problem are you solving?
Yeah,
So
kind of.
I asked you several times, what problem are you solving? Why that problem is important? Who has that problem? And you tried, Shame, you tried with your answers that were wobbly. And I didn't want to discourage you, but I'm still saying to you, hamba uyokhuluma nabantu ofuna ukubadayisela izinto. If you want to sell to those people, go to them then and do a proper customer survey. The one that you did is a lazy one. Ayikhulumi ngama the stuff that I even told you that I'm not even your target market, but in your mind you thought I was. Because you have not worked out what is your target market. Let me give you what your target market is. Your target market is your millennial who works, who have children. So it's a person who's a mom, or it's also a male, a young male that is single, that he stays alone, who wants to go home, have fresh produce that are already clean and cut, and then all they do, they just throw them in what? In a pan and cook. No chopping, no peeling and stuff. That is your target market. But then your question should be, where do I find this person? Where do they buy their current produce? And when they buy how often do they buy? What type, what is the size? What is the normal household number when they do that? Those are the things you're gonna need to fulfill and be clear about. And as you build that, you're then gonna ask yourself, which LSM am I targeting? Your LSM will tell you which suburb to sell to and how to sell to that suburb. And that is what I can provide for you. But I also feel you still have not done the work. I'm looking at your WhatsApp notes and the stuff I've shared with you. You have more than, I have more than 30 ideas and notes for you. The fact that you're still asking me this question, which means you have not done your work. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I have my latest questionnaire, which I'm gonna use to build my.
Don't use a questionnaire. Find one person and sit down with that one person. Find one person who's your typical custom and sit down with that person. Let that person be the one who tells you. Stop listening to your own self. Guys, as an entrepreneur, your views are not important. It's the views of the customers that are important. Don't go to the market with a set product already. Let the market define what product they want in the market.
Okay, understood. No, thank you very much for your feedback and the advice.
Thank you.
Taken too much consideration.
Okay, guys, I'm looking at the, are there any other questions? I'm gonna, okay. Is anyone who has a question? Let me have a look.
Can I ask last question?
No, Selby, you are like the WhatsApp. When they come, like, you owning up. Let me allow other people. If we get time toward the end, I will then take your question. Is that okay? Let's allow others.
Okay, understood.
Why, Tempest, are you saying I'm funny?
You always say the right things to the wrong people. We don't want to hear what you say, but it's always correct. We think we know it all, so we're learning.
I guess that I think you are right, but I think that is why a coach, because I'm not playing the game with you. I'm outside of
Yes.
I see things that you don't see.
That's why you're funny. Because you don't allow us to make the
To
mistakes
get
that
away with
others
it.
see. Yeah, to get away with it. We're trying, but no, we're not with Miss P. You're not doing it with me. I'm not having it. This is what is supposed to be happening, and let it happen. And then it will all work out for everybody. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, Salam. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine, Salam. Yeah. I recorded the session where I put all of us in a group. We did that session. And when I asked someone in the office to assist me to back up my machine, because my machine was giving me like capacity and like my disk was full, they deleted the recording. So I'm probably going to have to rerun. Salom, I'm probably going to rerun that same training again, just to make sure it's get recorded and backed up. I see there's a question from Tendo. Tendo, I don't have a question regarding Norman's feedback. Choosing between a manufacturer and a retailer, I do not have necessary brand products. So what does this mean to a person processing vegetables? So that I don't need this, my product does not mean. Oh, okay. So Tendo, you're also gonna just really understand that if you are selling a product like Archer, right? And you are the manufacturer of that Archer, you can choose, like what I was saying with Norman, you can choose, am I gonna be a manufacturer or am I gonna be a retailer? But even when you choose, it's gonna depend on your capacity. It's gonna depend on your distribution channel. It's gonna depend on the requirements of the legislation. Have you fulfilled them? Can you sell the product that you are producing in the open market and if the product is safe enough? So I'm not sure, do you mind just to unmute yourself so that we can maybe break down what you're asking? Tendo?
Hello.
Hi, sis.
Hey.
So
So that's the question. I'm confused.
So if I have capacity in terms of I have pots, I have a kitchen where I am cooking, I will set myself up as a manufacturer. But if I do not have the kitchen and stuff, I'm using my personal kitchen, then I will choose first to be a B2C, a retailer. Do you understand the difference?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. So that is why I say when you choose in your value chain who you're gonna be, it has to be based on your skills and resources and what is available. Where are the opportunities? That is why you can make money in any way. You can make money being a manufacturer, you can make money being a retailer, but whichever that you're gonna choose has to be something that is quicker and easier for you.
Yeah, I think it answers my question now.
Your question is answered.
Yes, I'm sorted.
Good. Okay, I'm gonna just go done. But also, can I take your questions? Okay. Let me also just talk about, some of you did not even use the right template. There are people that did not even submit the right template. I think people were not reading the material. They just wanted to do the assignment. And because they were more focused on doing the assignment than doing the work. The work, guys, is not on the work is not on assignment. The work is on your processes, going through the questionnaires and stuff. So I hope you did get that. Can I take the questions on what we have covered so far on SMART? I'm gonna move on to another component now of the things that we have noticed. Can I take the questions? Denise, will you please assist me to read the chat box and also help me to take the questions? Denise?
I'm reading through the chat box. There's no questions.
Okay.
Salom, so if you've shared your email on the text on the chat box, my porter will send you the link for Fresh LMS where you'll be able to access the template for assignment 3. Salby is saying financial accounting software, please.
We've got it. We're just testing it. We've got funding for it and stuff. We're testing it. I think we were just making sure that Mapote can be a product manager. That's what I had requested the team to do. Mapote to enroll and be a product manager so that whatever inquiries for we have, we can build up the questions and answers, but also create a relationship with the developers. And guys, let me share the template of your financial goals because some of you did not use the right template. Let me share. Let me share. Give me a second. Can I take, there's comments on the chat box?
No, Salby's was the last comment on the chat box.
Okay. Guys, I'm trying to share. I'm trying to share the Word document. I'm not sure. Are you able to see it?
Reading it.
Oh, you were able to see it. Sorry, I had to close it down. No one was responding, so I thought you can't see it. Do you now see? That's your template. That is here of what I expected to have. Most of you did send me stuff like this, but some of you did not use the right template. You made up your own stuff, which means you didn't read. Another thing that I wanted to share with you was that, you see, Denise, on give me a second. So there is Denise, there's a document that has all the KPIs as a template. Is that also included on the material on Fresh LSM?
I'll double check right now.
Can you please double check that?
Okay.
Guys, I'm opening up the KPIs. So some of you were a bit confused around the KPI, right? As to selecting how financial goals are. So I'm sharing the KPIs now with you. So a financial goal is a quantifiable item. So, and these are some of example of different types of financial goals, right? There you go. These are all different types. So Denise, just make sure that this document, all KPIs, is also included on Fresh LSM as the tools so that the entrepreneurs can see and have a look at what examples of KPIs are. And this is financial KPIs. And then you will have customer, internal processes, and learning and growth. And you use these when you are also setting up your strategy, because these are based on balanced scorecard. Okay. What else did I notice? Let's go in. I'm almost finished, guys. I'm almost finished. And if you have a question, just unmute yourself or raise your hand. Denise will point your hand. Okay. So there was another part within the financial goals that it felt as though you get it, but you don't understand what it means. So some of you did complete your personal development. You did also understood where you're going to prioritize, but it then felt as though you are not picking up that you're supposed then to build yourself up to see, okay, how do I fill up the gap? So in the module, I said, just take note of what is preventing you in achieving your goal, right? And I asked you to tick. I think there's more than 10, 15 questions, right? Let me share the screen again. Okay, there we go. So some of you, when I went through your notes, thank you for sharing those notes. I saw these things being ticked and stuff. But it was clear when I read other documents within your submission that you have not processed these things. Denise, would you please mute that person? Funzo, can you guys just keep yourself muted unless you want to talk, which you need to raise your hand or type on the chat box. Okay, thanks. So, why did I, first of all, let's understand why did I want you to be taking a note of this? Because I needed you to be aware of what is currently happening or what has happened before. So one of those notes said, you have stopped dreaming about what you want because you are not achieving the success that you are looking for, right? What does that mean? It meant that because maybe you have not had success, you now are no longer thinking it's possible, right? But what does that mean? It then means you gotta need to kind of being aware that you are now building up self-limiting beliefs about what you can and cannot achieve. Now, another one was say you're dependent on a government or institution to provide you tools and platform because you believe that is what they promised. What does that mean for you? It means you have built your capacity and resources on other people's ability to deliver things for you or for the environment. But what does that mean? It means you have not built a self-reliance skill, which is one of the top 5 skills the entrepreneur must have, self-reliance. You are discouraged and you are tired of trying, of failing over and over. You see, if you don't see success, you are not seeing the success. I mean, even a pinch of it, and you're not seeing a progress, you are gonna feel discouraged. You're also gonna feel tired. But now you're aware that is what is happening. How can you build yourself up to acknowledge the success that you're having? In some of your notes that I was reading, it was clear that you are measuring success for the external part. We are measuring the success out as an output. We are not focusing on systems and the processes. So what do I mean when I say you are not focusing on systems and processes? If you have said, Precious, I want to sell 1 million oranges, right? My question is that who are you gonna sell these oranges to, and how many are you gonna sell daily, monthly, quarterly, and how are you gonna evaluate, which is now monitoring, how are you gonna evaluate whether you are achieving that goal or not? When I look through your goals, some of your goals were very much focused on the outcome, on the output. They were not looking at the input. What am I gonna need to do to make sure I can actually do 1 million oranges in 12 months' time? So meaning I'm gonna need to have, yes, that financial goals that I'm gonna make 10 million in 12 months' time. But what is it that I'm gonna be doing on daily basis that will make sure that I achieve that 10 million or whatever amount it is? And as I am doing that I'm doing must be within my control. And when I've done my to-do list or my checklist on weekly, daily, or monthly, whatever case it may be, as I'm monitoring, when that is done, I shall say I'm successful. And because, guys, your success is not defined only by the outcome, but is defined by the inputs that you put in. And you gotta need to also take into account that the environment will detect your success. Therefore, you can't measure all your success from external. Also measure the success on how you feel about yourself, having done the things that you have told yourself you're gonna do. So really work on that, guys, work on that. Now, another one was that you've lost hope and courage to continue with your dream. Yes, but that lost hope or courage, you gotta need to go back and ask yourself, when did it get lost and why did it get lost? But how do I get my hope? And I'm saying to you, the hope will come back, the self-confidence will come back if you have a clarity of where you're going, how you're gonna go there, and on daily basis, you're working on yourself to make sure that you achieve that goal. You do not stop until you achieve that goal. And most of you did tick this one quite strongly, where you have had the no so many times. As a result, you feel defeated before you could even say anything because you are expecting to hear no. It's almost like you already know what their answer is going to be in your mind. And I'm saying to you, you can't do that to yourself. Go in, expect a yes, even though the past experience might have shown that you are more likely to get a no. Expect a yes, even on the doors that you somehow feel inferior, you feel you are not enough, you feel, you know what, they've already selected the winner or whoever. I expect that somebody's going to say yes. Expect someone is going to give you a chance. Expect the best. Be positive. So maybe consider going on the book. There's lots of books on positive thinking. Maybe work on that. Because guys, what you expect, the world, the way the world works, the beliefs you have about things, the beliefs are the things that you hold true. The beliefs that you have attract the things that happen in your life. The way your life is right now is not just defined by the environment, but you define it by your spirit on what your belief is. And who you are, what you stand for, the ideas you have about yourself, the values, the attitude you have, all of that makes you to be who you are. And who you are right now is a made up of all these things, your thought, your mindset, your action, your behavior, all of that makes you you. But these things that makes you to be you, you attract them. You attract them. And I know sometimes this is so difficult to understand. The world, the universe is like the way the earth and the world and it works. It's like soil. If in the soil, you're gonna plant milli, you're gonna put a milli seed. What's gonna come out should also therefore be a milli that comes out. If your seed was milli, you can't therefore plant milli and expect amabel or expect spinach. And that's the same thing with the world. When you have such a big resistance, when you're trying something and you keep on having some sort of a resistance, understand you are a creator of that environment. And I know this is also very difficult for people to understand, but I need you to understand there's nothing or there's no one that is against you. Everything is for you, but the things that are for you, you will attract by your attitude, by your mindset, by your beliefs. So when you're having a huge resistance on something, step back and then ask yourself, what are my beliefs about this? What do I think about this? What are my ideas? What do I say to people when I talk about this thing? Because sometimes the things we say versus the things that we do versus the things that we want, sometimes it doesn't talk to one another. And I will make this as an example. For years, as I was working, people will be saying, but Precious, you're doing this, for heaven's sake, yes, CA, you could be earning a lot of money just in a nice office, you know, people making that example. And then I will have a response that says, oh, money is not important. Oh, money is not what drives me. Then no wonder money didn't come to my bank account because I didn't want it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the things I was saying and the effort that I was putting in was not sustainable. Whereas I must be rewarded for what I do. But it does not mean what I do, I'm doing it because of money. Do you understand what I mean? But by me saying that money means nothing, it doesn't matter, then I am planting a seed of not having it. So I am saying, just start watching your mouth, what you say. Start watching what you're thinking about that thing. Start watching what you feel about that thing, and ask yourself, is that aligned to your goal? There's so many things that I can make example of where I started reflecting. I saw, you know what I was saying does not talk to what my vision is or what I want. I want to be a multi-millionaire. And okay, but what I do and say does not talk to that vision. So your vision, you must live your vision. That is why I kept on saying that when we were talking about ending the month, you must live the vision before the vision come to be a fruit, before you can see the fruit of the tree that you are planting the seed for. And you must nurture the tree. You must nurture the tree and continue. And some trees will take years, some trees will take shorter, but you gotta need also to have that perseverance of knowing that when you have planted something, you must have a patience to wait. You must trust that, yes, I am gonna get what I have planted, and be certain about that. Do not doubt. And that's another thing. I think some other people, the reason they get this no so many times, they start even doubting the vision and the hope and the things that they want to do. No, do not doubt. Don't allow doubt, because the moment you allow doubt, then the fear comes in, then the self-talk yourself out of the things that you need to do comes in, self-confidence will come in also, and so on and so on. So another one that was highly ticked also was passion not being converted into profit. Instead, you have lost money and time and friends. So this was very close to my heart. I love teaching. From my great father to my father, especially in my father's side, they were all teachers. My aunts were teachers. So I've always known I was a teacher. I think when kids were playing games, when you are like 4, 5, 6, you playing games, I was either a mom or a teacher. And so I've always known, I think deep down in my heart, that I was a teacher. So that was a passion to teach and just provide some light and guidance. I think that was always within me. But I had not positioned myself properly to distinguish myself from other teachers. And that matters, because you see, when you're providing, you have a passion for something, but you then go to the market, you don't position yourself correct. No matter what you do, you could have a best product in the market, but because you have not positioned yourself correct, then you will not make money out of it. So you gotta therefore take that passion you have, whatever that passion is, figure out what's the best way to position it, what's the best way to market it, and how you will do it as you. Don't do it as somebody else. Just do it as you. Be real on it. So I have also shared this with you guys. If I haven't, you have been listening to my YouTube account, I have said this, guys, I have failed in more than 7 businesses. I will share business cards someday of businesses that I failed in. I failed in business. And by the way, I've been studying business since I was 14 years old. So failing in business doesn't matter how long you have been studying it and doing it. You can fail in business. like nobody. You can fail whether it's not about knowing things. It's never about, it's just so complicated that it's definitely not about, you can have all the knowledge. You can have an MBA student or MBA graduate who has learned from Harvard running a business. That doesn't, the business will still fail. So what you gotta need to make sure when you choose that passion is aligned to your energy. It's aligned to your values, what you think is important to you. One of the experiences I had, I was in the US. When I was in the US, I was on secondment when I was at Ernst & Young, north of Virginia. I love perfume. I've always loved perfume. So when I got exposed to the US, that was in 2005, I think. 2004 and 4 and 5, somewhere there. I then had an idea that I can import perfumes to South African market that I had not seen, that I saw that could actually sell very well because they were good for it. And as I was building my business, we were already, I think, 2007, selling online. We got featured on magazines and stuff, as you know, the e-commerce stuff, because I had these ideas from the US. Anyway, as the business was growing, it was clear that because of the market opening more in South Africa, because of more affluent people, that the market for perfumes that I had selected, the market was now we're starting to see these perfumes in the retail. I realized, then I need to go up with the product, go more specific on certain products that were more expensive. Now, how you sell a product like perfume, which are expensive, perfumes that are expensive in South Africa, it's perfumes that are more than 3,000 rand a bottle of 50 mils. And I mean, guys, how you sell this product, you run teas. It's like tea parties, you run sessions, testing sessions and so on. And then you'll have a machine and then you run. But you then collaborate also with other people that sell high-end product, like boutiques. You then partner also with people that sell handbags and so on. You partner with them, handbags and shoes, accessories, basically. I remember being in one of these sessions and feeling disgusted looking at people who are my potential customers having bags. My bags are my 100,000, using a Mont Blanc pens, and me feeling, oh my goodness, the whole clothing is close to 500,000. I could pay 6, 7 classes to have them renovated, buy a school uniform for kids in Dupsloot. Do you see? I'm in a business, I love perfume, but my energy is not right. Of course, I can wing it. I can look like a Johannesburg North girl and have fake hair, fake nails and all that. But deep down in my heart, I'm a Zulu girl who just want to do good, who want to grow people. How is that aligned to who I am, what I stand for? You know, at best, I would rather have a dog on my head than having anything else. And have a dog the whole day, I don't care, or even attend meetings with my dog on. Because I never cared about how I look. But do you see, my personality is now not matching with the industry. My lifestyle is not matching. Of course, I can wing it for 1 or 2 hours, but people don't buy you, buy your product. They buy you, what you stand for. Those who have seen maybe the housewife of Johannesburg, that's the type of clientele you are selling to. I can never be that. For heaven's sake, oh no, that's not me. But so you gotta need to make sure that that passion that you are saying it's your passion, it matches your personality. It matches what you value the most. It matches your attitudes. I had a bad attitude in that lifestyle. I had opposites of those values. As much as I believed in the product, and I love the product, and I still love perfumes. But that lifestyle, I can't do that lifestyle. So make sure your passion is aligned to your personality, and your personality is fed by that, and that drives you. Because if not, you will do things and touch things that you have no business touching. And that is why I said to you guys, just take time to reflect what you want for your life. Do those 100 things, because as you're doing those 100 things, you're going to find out certain things that you lack for yourself. But consider the things you lack for yourself versus the things you want to do as a career. I also ask you guys to do Dr. DeMartini's values. Some of you really missed that exercise. You didn't understand some of the questions that were being asked. So consider redoing that exercise until you really figure out what's your purpose in this life. Because I'm sharing those tools because, I mean, as early as 25, I had achieved more than what anyone would have dreamed for me or what I had dreamed for myself. I had achieved everything that I had set myself I wanted to do in my life at 25. So I then started being troubled. My spirit was troubled to figure out what's my purpose in life. What am I supposed to do now? Because I had achieved the goals that I had set for myself. So it took me a long time, a very long time, to figure out why I'm here on earth and what am I meant to be doing. And that is why I tried different things, different businesses, which all failed because I was choosing things that maybe I might have loved, but they were not necessarily my purpose. I might have loved them, but they were not matching my personality. I might have loved them or cared about them, but they did not resonate with what God has aligned for me. So that is very important, guys. And I don't want you guys to waste money and time trying things. No, you have to choose that one thing and stick with it till the end. And I'm so glad I finally found that purpose. And oh Lord, but it took me a long time to find it. But anyway, so try those exercises and keep on trying them and answering them the way you reflect on them. But also just read the English very strongly. Read the English because sometimes the language itself does not actually work. So yeah. What else I wanted to share that I saw that appeared there? Okay, you have stopped believing it is possible that you can do it. So because success is coming so randomly, because you are not seeing the result, you will start stopping believing that it's possible that you can do this. And I think that is what devil steals from us. That he doesn't just steal our dreams and throw in hesitant, throw in us being not having a belief system in ourselves, but we end up not even believing on the system, that the system works. And we personalize the feedback that the universe is giving us. So we judge also the tree and say to the tree is not producing the oranges I wanted, but we don't check, did I plant right? And have I been nurturing the tree correct? And so I really want you to have a way where you create your own motivation. I think it was someone was sharing that he's no longer, Norman was saying, I'm no longer even listening to radio and other things. I'm just listening to these audio books that you have shared. I've listened to this. That is what's going to help you to keep things and knowing that it is possible and you can do it. Listening to news and to people and talking to people on WhatsApp and Facebook and all those things, guys, that's going to pollute your mind. I mean, when I was really serious about achieving my goal, I literally did not talk to people that were negative. I did not talk to, I avoided talking to people that were negative. I also cut people that were not going to help me to achieve my goals, because I figured out that I had surrounded myself with people whom were, I was more giver to them than me receiving also. So you gotta need to figure out also so that you balance that, so that it's sustainable. So I started making sure that I surround myself with people. I'm intentional in making sure I surround myself with people that can also help me, not that I'm always the one who's helping others. And that helped a lot. I mean, I attracted people till today. They are good friends and they still bring me work. I surrounded myself with people that align in my values and so on. So just please make sure that, one, avoid watching and reading news, avoid being on social media. Obviously, sometimes like people like myself, we are on social media to sell and make sure that the market knows what you do and how you're doing things differently. But I mean, I've never made a lot of sales. Yes, there was a brand awareness, but not a lot of sales in terms of value, in terms of money. I made more money from creating personal relationships because what I sell is a personal product. So I really want you to really put systems of the things that motivate you. So I listened quite a lot on audiobooks myself. I also, there's a website which is called Motivation University. I listen to different things when I want to study things, when I want to exercise. So I have different motivations for different things. So when I feel maybe I can't do it, but I also start saying my affirmations. And one of my affirmations, as simple as, I mean, I learned this from T. Harv Eker. One of them, when I feel I can't do certain things, I then use them to help me. And let me share this one, for example. Let me show you another one. Do you see, this is another one that I use. I will also share it in a WhatsApp. So I will say these affirmations when I feel maybe I'm not feeling so good. I'm not feeling I'm doing my best, or my students are not getting the concept and stuff. I keep on emphasizing to myself, I have an important message and knowledge and experience to share. I add value into people's life. I'm confident. I'm excellent. I'm an excellent program design. I am powerful present. I earn a fortune teaching what I love. I am #1 business trainer in the world. So those are some of the affirmations that I use. Is it true or not true? The world will tell me whether that's true or not true. But what I know is that for the past, more than 5-6 years, I've been doing this and supporting other families doing it. So so maybe consider designing those that are going to help you to really start believing in yourself. And just remember, no one is going to say, here is a pill for believing in yourself. You will believe in yourself when you start doing the things correct daily. And as the more you gain confidence in yourself, in achieving, I mean, I'm talking about this, is like when you wake up, you will have set yourself, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Do that 1, 2, 3 things. Trust me, by you ticking on those 3, 4 things that you have said for that day, and you reflect in the evening, this was a good day, this was a great day, you're gonna start gaining confidence in yourself. And the more you focus on working on yourself, because guys, the success that we see as external, it has first happened internally. And that's what you need to focus on. I think the rest I was quite comfortable. Some of you also, you have written the goals, but you are not reading them daily. I think this, you are not reading them daily. You are not also revising them to see, okay, if my target was 1 million oranges and I'm not able to meet the target for a day, then which means I need to revise my goals. I need to revise my strategies. I need to revise how I'm doing this. So that is important. And thank you so much, guys. I will take questions now. And comments. I'm open to comments too. I will take comments. Is anyone who would like to comment? Oh, Ntombi is say, oh, what? 16 said, send your top 3 frequencies. I will send you testers. Oh, that's so sweet. I will definitely send you system. Okay, and then Ntombi said, yes, this is where I was at start of the year. I stopped believing that it's possible for me to succeed. So Sisi, all I'm saying is, Ntombi, you're gonna get up there and do small things. Start with small success. As you're gaining the small success and the self-confidence, reliance, trusting, the trust is gonna start you doing what you have promised yourself first. And I promise you, a week after a week, you're gonna start seeing the difference. A second week, you can actually even do it as a 30-day challenge of some sort. And that will help you also to achieve so that you can have something that you are taking. Tender, saying change is something that comes from within. So no matter how many teachings we get, as long as we are not believing in ourselves, no change then will remain the same. It's a cycle. It's a self-introspection, and what we really need will help us. And that is true, Tender. Yes, it's within ourselves. It's within ourselves. I'm only here as a facilitator. I'm only here to guide you, but the teachings have to come from you within yourself. That is teaching. Teaching is bringing what is within. And I think most of you, and I'm so grateful you guys have made this time and you are working through this. You get it. But I now need to embed this part of you getting it to be, for you to really understand that you already have a seed on your hand. What you need to make sure now is that the ground you're planting this seed, these business ideas are the seed, but this seed that you have on your head, when you're planting it, you must know and don't doubt what's gonna come out. Don't doubt that if you have a million on your head, then it's gonna come out and be oranges. No, it won't be oranges. If you have planted the milli. Let me take questions and comments. Lulama, do you guys have any? Joseph, Lebogang, Dakalo, any questions? So that's a feedback I wanted to give you guys. Use the right template. Make sure your template talks toward the SMART principle. If it does not talk to your SMART principle, come back and look at your business model, look at your strategy, because those 3 things must talk to one another. Lebogang said, Mommy, you are a mind trainer. This is learning curve from this long run. Would be best until now you have corrected us and guiding us. We see where we are going. We need classes like this to train our mind. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lebogang. Lulama said, this is how I wished I have got this opportunity earlier, but I'm grateful. This is really reborn, even though it's tough, Miss P. May God continue to bless you and you can come out of our comfort zone. Yes, so how are we gonna come out of our comfort zone? Lulama, we're gonna need to not accept crap that the world and the universe has dished out for us. We're gonna need to set standards that are higher for ourselves and people that we work with and people that are around us. So we really have to do that. So when you set your standards to be high, you start also expecting others to perform better. You expect yourself to perform better. I think sometimes our standards are too low. As a result, we then remain in this comfort zone that is crap, but because we are not reviewing and assessing, is this really what I want? We've accepted things as a norm. There's certain things we have accepted as norms. We should have never accepted them as norms. So and raise our standards. That's what we need to start with. So that is how we're going to start. And when we start doing that, raising our standard, expecting more from ourselves, we then start doing and setting things to meet those standards. We then start living our life to those standards. And as we are progressing, and when we are choosing those higher standards at the beginning is uncomfortable, but when we get comfortable, we then need to push ourselves. So, and the best way of doing that is start with your board. If you can control your board, you can control your mind, you can control your emotions, you can control your feeling. Start with your physically being, your physically board. Have 100% control of that. When you do not have 100% control of that, your emotions are everywhere, your thoughts, your mindset, and that is why on self-mastery, I will share some videos with you guys on self-mastery, because for you to run a multi-million business that you guys are looking at, that you want to achieve, you must be worth that multi-millionaire yourself as a person. That is why standards have to be set to be higher. So I am looking at, Joseph, I'm happy. I want to know, how can I get your assistant on my goal I reach? Salome, thank you for opening my mind. I'm going to learn more and seek an app to help me to beat the market price and client base. Amazing, that is good, Salome. At the moment, Joseph, at the moment, I have reached 450,000 fund to plant sunflower for 50 hectares. How can I break down to make me profit? How can I run a sunflower? Sure, Joseph. First of all, I can't answer you, Joseph, on the question you've asked. I don't know how you selected why a sunflower. Number two, I also don't know the market of the sunflower. As for 50 hectares, if I was given a question of saying that, Precious, if you were given an opportunity, you have 50 hectares, what would you plant? I will first do the test of the soil and ask myself, the soil that I currently have of this 50 hectares, what is the mineral combination of it? What will grow the best on that soil? So testing of soil in South Africa is very easy. Find out testing of soil. You can do in private labs, or you can use a public sector to assist. You can use also, I think, CSIR. There's also other institutions. The soil will then tell me what is possible. From that list of what is possible, Joseph, I will then say which one has a higher demand with a lower effort, with the shortest time of growing it and harvesting it, right? And that's how I will select what I'm choosing. So I can't answer you, because until I've gone through those steps, then I will then say, if my answer comes up and still says sunflower, then I will ask myself, who am I going to sell this sunflower to, at how much? And because sunflower is like a commodity, I will check the market. How much does the sunflower pay ton right now versus how much it will cost me. I will also do some costing to see will that be profitable or not profitable. So that is how I will approach it, Joseph. I can't answer you because of those questions and issues. Does that guide you though on what to do and how to do it?
It's just I just got it last week, and it's like it's fixed because it's come from the company called Sagma. They're dealing with only greens, so they've selected that I have to plant sunflower for 50 hectares.
And but
Like it's been
Joseph,
fixed.
you the soil is the one that's gonna tell you what is possible to plant there.
No, that the soil at Matawata, if already tested, you can plant the sunflower.
Okay.
You can plant it. No problem with that. It's just the problem that I have is how I'm going to break down this money so that it can make profit.
Extra. So maybe
Yeah.
let's have a session, me and you, working out, list down the things you're gonna need to plant.
Okay.
List down the things you're gonna need to plant, and then also cost it. Go and get quotations. So make a list and go and get quotations. When you are asking a quotation that's less than 1,000, you can get one quote. But if it's above 1,000, maybe get 2 quotes. If it's above 3,000, get 3 quotes, so that you can have different variation. And then have a coach, and you need a coach, Joseph.
Yes.
Okay, you need a coach, and I'm not sure if you can afford me, but if you have tested the soil and they're already prescriptive on what they want, which means they're gonna take that product. You're then gonna need to ask yourself the offtake agreement, analyze the offtake agreement, because the offtake agreement will give you the range of the price. They're gonna take the sunflower from you. So let's have a coaching session, Joseph, a private one, and we'll take it up from there.
Okay, no, thank you for everything. All right.
And Norman would like to contribute also. So when we're having a session, we'll invite Norman.
Okay. No problem. Thank you very much.
Lulama is asking, just checking, what must we do on this fresh LSM? So Lulama, the fresh LSM has all the material together. So because most of your material you are getting using links, you are also getting on emails. I just want you to have access to the material online so that if your laptop or something happens to your machine, it's on the cloud, you will always have access to it. But you will only have access to it for the next 12 months. In November next year or October next year, we will then take it. We will then remove you as a member. But for now, you have access to it. Okay, guys, are there any other questions? Did you find a value on today's session? How, guys, you are so quiet. You know, I pour my heart in doing this.
Hi, Sis Precious.
Hi, Sister. Hi.
Yes, I find so much value in this. There's a lot that we have got out of this session. One thing that I want to ask you, do we now have to redo our assignment, or does one just go on and relook at the goals and the strategies and redo her work on her own and just ask questions?
No. So what's the next step? I've given you what I have got in overall. For those that have submitted, I am gonna take 20 to 30 minute sessions, even short, to say, okay, like with you, Sistombi, notes are. I can say, okay, Sistombi, 1, this is what you need to fix on your financial goals, on your strategy, this is what you need to work on. And then this is how you're gonna fix up the things that you need to achieve. And this is what needs to be done. So we will give you individual feedback. I just needed to give you the overall feedback, and then I will give you individual feedback. Denise will schedule those. There will be 10, 15 minutes tops. Worst case scenario is 30 minutes on just taking you, because I'm only giving you feedback on 2 things.
Okay.
But I prefer that using this feedback I've provided, reconsider to redo your work. And then I compare what you first submitted versus what you submitted now, so that I can see if there's a progress.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And guys, I am gonna pray. I need you guys also to help and pray for us to get funding for me to take you guys through the next 12 months, where once every 2 weeks we meet like this. And now we go through each other's work and say, okay, where are you? What you had set as your goal? What have you done? What are you stuck at? I do not have, what do you call it? I may not have an understanding of the industry, but I will guide you on what will be the steps. Okay, so Lulama, yes, I do have your notes also. Lulama, we will have your session. Lulama, yes, I have your notes. We will provide the feedback. Okay, so guys, just pray. Just pray. Remember, praying is seeing things as though they're already done. I think we are gonna get someone who's gonna take us and adopt us for me to be able to run this session on a monthly basis with the guys that have completed this program, while you are making sure you are implementing the accounting systems, you are building up your marketplace. We are already on that process. Just pray, and pray as though God has already given us. So just remember that. So I think we will be fine. That would be amazing, Norman, but let's say it will be amazing. It is amazing already. Let's take it as though God has already provided. Okay, Dagalo, let me just say, some of you are way ahead, some of you are a little bit behind, but it's okay. We will progress at our own pace. But I'm really saying thank you. Thank you to all of you. Would you please also give us some sort of a feedback? We are taking feedback. Denise, share the link of the feedback for evaluation so that we use that for our reports. And also, we would like to hear what has changed since the beginning of the program. Norman, you've already shared quite a bit. Maybe consider just making notes of it and write it up. Denise, from next week, she will be scheduling up some time. I will try. And guys, if you are unable to attend, consider working with someone to swap. Don't just not attend, because it throws off my schedule. Rather swap with someone, but also realize that all the things that we are doing, we should be building a community of entrepreneurs that are ethical, of entrepreneurs that want to do things the right way at the best ability possible, which means we're learning from each other, which means we should be open to share. So as much as I am going to provide a private session, we may need to, when we are running the session, to decide, okay, is it fine if we start recording now after I've shared the private part, so that we can then build the content around your lessons and stuff and your environment. And we can share that on the YouTube account so that anyone who is in that industry and struggling with that specific problem can also be helped. Our aim is to help everyone and reach as many entrepreneurs, so that you should not repeat the same mistakes I have repeated, and nobody should repeat your mistake either. Thank you so much, guys. Seems like there is no more question except it will be and it shall be. Thank you, Kensani, Joy. Magdalene, you struggled with the network today. We will put the recording for you. Dombi, thank you. Pulane, Dakola, Salome, Funzo, Salbi, Lulama, Tender, Joseph, Lebohang, Tembisa, and Norman. Thank you so much to all of you. The WhatsApp is open. Denise will be posting the scheduling of the sessions from next week. We will post this. I will process this link and post it today so that you guys, those who maybe attended a little bit late, can actually see. And God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.